We got pocket 10s. We don't have a great hand. We got chance. And so we're going all in.
I always told everybody Alabama's the smartest state, 4 A's and a B. I mean, that's how we grew up.
Hey, it was BYOG, bring your own guts.
I didn't even know my name was William until about the 3rd grade.
All right, y'all have any fun yet?
In about the 2nd or 3rd grade, they came out with them Scantron sheets. I'm sick of it. I don't even know why I even bring up the dadgum word. Especially with William Christopher Swinney. And I'm like, good God, and I had to remind myself how to spell my own name.
I can't believe I got to come into here with a 5-0 football team that just had a great win and have to be talked about Clemsoning.
They're not Clemson. And they're never going to be Clemson, to be honest with you.
Rain, sleet, or snow, Tiger Nation, they show, and they were here tonight. Great job. We're going to do the whipping night tonight.
I mean, we are laughing and living back through those moments with
Is the whipping night still a thing?
Sure,
Is that still a thing?
You knew it is.
Yeah.
Dabo and Jimbo down on that corner. You guys are just having at it, 2 peas in a pod over there on a podcast. Who would get in more stories between the 2 of you?
That's a great question. We were debating the games that we beat them. They had to play as they should have won. The games they beat us, I just told them to play.
Exactly.
We had to. We never lost any of them.
Oh, these 2 together are a show in itself. Coach, it's good to see you. We just heard you in there at the podium, and you were talking about your quarterbacks, the battles that they have had, and obviously the importance you saw in naming a starter heading into fall camp. What do you hope continues to happen as they continue to compete, but with Chris in that starting position?
Yeah, they just continue to get better. I mean, the spring was a lot of new installation and terminology, operational stuff, and that was kind of my big message to those guys coming out of spring. First of all, we needed to figure out who the 2 was. We had 4 guys competing for the 2, and we needed to get that cleared up so that we could have competition, because, I mean, it's not like CV's some proven guy. But we believe in him. That's why we made the decision to go with the guys we got. We believe in him. We understand the magnitude of a decision like that and the criticism that'll come if they suck. So we get it. But we believe in him. And everybody in the building believes in him. This kid can play, man. He's a high-level player. He stayed at Clemson. He could have left, and he stayed there. And it ain't like Klubnik was a slouch. This kid is in the pros and going to have a great pro career. But CB did everything that he needed to do to earn that opportunity. We brought in Tate. Tate wins that spot. So now we came out of spring with clarity for the team, and now those guys go compete. And I think it's a really good, healthy situation. Those guys are competitive. CB's become a great leader. I love watching him find his voice. But when I get on the field with them in a couple weeks here, like, my message to them is all this operational stuff, all this stuff that you got to do, cadence and timing and motions and, all this minutia, like, we got to be way beyond that so that we can really focus on the execution of what we're doing and what the defense is doing, et cetera. And so they've done a good job of that so far. And competition will continue.
Also, but how have you guys balanced, because you said he's not a proven guy, but it's also a competition. How have you balanced giving him the confidence so that he's not looking over his shoulder every bad play or every interception he throws, worried about being replaced?
Well, it's no different in any position, in my opinion. We got competition at every position. And as soon as you allow guys to feel like they're entitled to go play, then you're probably not going to win. So, yeah, if you're a proven starter like Will Help coming back, well, guess what? If he starts against LSU, not because he was a good player last year, it's going to be because he's done it in camp. All right? And my message to those guys behind him is go beat him out. Don't bow down to that guy. Exactly. Go make him better. And so quarterback is no different to me. Now, if you've got a proven, established guy that's led you to a championship and a start, then, there's a certain amount of leeway with that. CV's earned the pole position. He's earned the right. He ain't backed up a bit. He's gone forward. But Tate ain't going away. And so it's a great, healthy situation. And, it's going to be awesome to see how it plays out. And, I mean, it ain't like we, open it up with Eastern Boga Community College in the opener. So it may go into the season, and CV may clearly separate in fall camp. Tate may win it. It may get close. Who knows? I don't have a crystal ball. All I know is I got good players that we believe in, and we got a bunch of playmakers that going to make plays no matter who's throwing it to them.
I agree with you because the competition can't quit, and you don't know how they're going to react. And I believe not naming it in the spring. Everybody says name it in the summer, but I've seen springtime heroes, and they get to that fall.
Zeros.
Yeah, then I've seen fall camp heroes when they get to the game, and I've seen fall camp heroes turn into zeros.
Yeah, that's
when
why
the numbers on the scoreboard matter, they can't play.
I've seen a bunch of 7-on-7 quarterbacks and 7-on-7 wideouts, and I get all these clips, but when you turn the game tape on, they can't play the game. It's a different deal. And so sometimes you don't know, and you and I know this, and this has been a frustration. We're the only level of football, from Pee-wee to middle school to high school to the NFL, that has no preseason games.
Exactly.
We don't have anything. There's a reason why that is that way. Hey, you got a guy that you know. I got Blake Miller at right tackle, who's played a gajillion. I don't need to watch him in a preseason game, but I need to see that backup. You know, I mean, like, I need to see some of that.
That would be a good thing for college. I've always said that's a good thing for college football.
You know, we don't have that. They don't get hit. You know, we're not going to hit our quarterbacks in practice. So now all of a sudden, you know, I can't create Baton Rouge. I mean, I can make it loud, but, you know, I can't create. How's that guy going to respond when this guy gets his helmet knocked sideways, you know, by that linebacker who just blitzed up the middle?
Well, that's the thing I want to ask you about, too. You got a good thing going because you brought Chad back. As somebody you've been through it with. Tell me about the thought process of bringing him back and what he brings to the table.
Yeah, well, so, you know, 2010 is the worst season I've had as a head coach. We went 6-7, and, you know, they could have fired me for a dinner at Outback. And you know, pretty big decision. I hire a guy who's been in college for 9 to 10 months. But we aligned. We had a lot of synergy. I had a young quarterback in Taj Boyd who I let be a part of the interview process. I didn't want to start over with Taj. And Chad and I, we had the same terminology. And we were very similar, but he had some answers that I just hadn't got to yet. I probably would have eventually got there, but I'd have probably been fired before I got there. And he had them, and I knew he could bring those in some of the principles and things that I wanted to do, and I knew my personnel. I had this young quarterback in Taj Boyd. I had DeAndre Hopkins. I had a young tight end in Dwayne Allen. I had Andre Ellington. I had Sammy Watkins coming in, and I'm like, man, I know what I want.
Yeah.
He was pretty good, and I knew what I wanted to do. So, again, a lot of criticism, a ton of criticism, because I'm hiring a high school coach. But it worked because we were truly aligned in what we believe. So the difference now is, the similar is, I'm coming off my second worst season as a head coach. We won 7 games. And, you know, we stunk offensively. We throw and catch pretty good, but we couldn't run the ball. And because of that, we were poor on third down, probably the worst third down I've had. And, you know, a result of that is probably one of the worst scoring offenses I've had. And so it's about points. So I got to fix that. Timing. But the difference is, Chad and I have 4 years of history together. I know how he's going to respond when we stink. And I know how he's going to respond when we have great success. And it's not like the relationship stopped. Our relationship, we didn't really have a relationship when I hired him in 11. We're like brothers now. And so there's a lot that comes with that. There's a lot of alignment, a lot of synergy. We speak the same terminology. And so it's been a lot of fun. It really has. I've enjoyed it. He's a high energy guy. He's passionate. He's a very he's been a head coach, so he runs the meeting room like a head coach. There's a lot of accountability, you know, when it comes to staff, when it comes to recruiting and all that type of stuff. So it's been great just having him back. He's better than when I first met him, and he's lived a lot of life since then. So have I. So it's been great. But you know, he gets it. He understands it, and he loves me. He loves Clemson. And he's kind of been there, done that. The first time I hired him, he was kind of on his way. I knew I'd have him a few years and he'd go be a head coach. And now he's like, been there, done that. And he's like, man, let's go score some points.
Come on. That's what you want to see.
Yeah, so it's been great.
That's right. How about on the defensive side of the ball, Coach? You and I have talked a bunch about this, specifically looking at your pass defense and your secondary. You guys bring in 10 guys from the portal. A lot of that is on the defensive side of the ball. What can we expect in year 2 with a new coordinator and the things that you want to do as he goes into his second year?
Somebody earlier today said we brought in 17 guys from portal. I'm like,
17?
I got some dudes I got to find.
Where are they?
I got to find them guys. I think they count some of them DSA guys.
Right.
Everybody's trying to find them guys. But yeah, we got better in a lot of areas defensively, but we were the worst pass defense I've had since I've been a head coach. And it wasn't just because we weren't good enough. You know, we didn't communicate well. Too many times we didn't have 11 guys doing their job. And, you know, you can have 11 guys not do their job on offense, but you can still punt. But on defense, it's a touchdown. Yeah. And we give up too many big plays, too many explosives. So that's the biggest thing we got to do. But we had a couple safeties leave. We needed to address that. We went and got 2 all-conference caliber players in Jerome Carter and Corey Myrick. We got Elliott Washington. So we're faster. We needed more speed there. Our high school kids coming in have been awesome. Most everybody was there in January, but that's been the biggest emphasis. If we'll be better in pass defense, much better, and we got a lot of room to be much better, then we'll be a better defense across the board.
What was the biggest learning curve of that process? I mean, you brought in a couple of guys in the offseason. This was the largest by far, and it's a different thing than the high school couple
just
years.
The portal stuff? Oh,
yeah.
Well, I mean, first of all, it was actually easier than it's ever been. I mean, because prior to last year, it was all on the same time, and it was crazy because you couldn't predict. You didn't know if a guy was going to leave, and, you know, and all this stuff. Whereas now the high school signing date is in December, or early December, which is good because it protects the high school kids. Those kids get a chance to sign. And then you can know what you need if you need anything. And last year in particular, okay, we got a couple guys that decommitted. So you got to fix that. You don't go get the high school kid in December. So we got to fill that hole. And then you got a couple of veteran guys that maybe left that you didn't expect. You got to go fill that. A couple of guys go pro early. You got to fill that. So the portal, the timing of it, where it is, all that was great for us. And it's a resource for us. It's not the source. It's a resource for us. But it was, the process was no different in that how we go about recruiting the high school kid. It's the same as far as our criteria, the fit, what we're looking for. But it's a lot easier to evaluate because I'm looking at a kid that's played in the Big Ten, the SEC, you know, whatever, and he's had a peer. You know, the high school kid. That's why like with money involved, there's only a certain level that I'll go with on a freshman, because no freshmen have ever had a peer in our sport. No, they just haven't. I mean, you know, my left tackle 6'7", 350. He ain't never seen a guy like him on Friday night. And you know where else? He ain't never seen it at practice every day. But when you get to Clemson, you're going to see it every single day. So you got to learn technique and fundamentals and not just, oh, I pull. No, how do you pull? How do you kick out? How do you run a slant versus inside leverage? Like, these are things that you know, the NFL ain't going to develop you. And if you can't do it, you ain't playing. They bring somebody in who can. So when you have to use the portal, it's easier to see, but it's still the fit for us. Like, do they fit our culture? Do they align with us? Do they value education? Do they want accountability, structure, family? You know, do they want discipline? Do they, all those things? It's still the same process for us. Now, it was crazy because you meet a guy at 9:30 on Monday night and you get married at 11 a.m. the next day. Like I said, like you're Elvis in the wedding chapel, and you hope it's going to last forever.
Right.
You know, so that was a little different. Yeah. But they're also, you know, more mature process. It's not really about recruiting at that point. It's really more about fit for them. So that's where it's at.
And now you don't have to listen to the questions anymore about the transfer portal and why not Dabo is in it, and we cannot wait to see what this team does. A lot of questions going to be answered with that opener against LSU. Cannot wait to see you guys in the
y'all
other.
Kicking me off?
Other,
is this it?
Other
we just getting rolling.
I agree. That's
we didn't even get to hang out.
I got an idea too. It's going to be outside the X's and O's with Dabo and Jimbo, and you guys are going to talk about everything but football. The podcast airing soon on ACC Network. We just signed him.
Yeah, he played at Stanford. His son's coaching. And then his star receivers got committed. My son's the OC at that school.
Yeah, that you can talk about, but I can't talk about.
Exactly. Well, I can say it.
They just keep going. Coach Swinney, appreciate you spending a little time with us. Good luck this season.